Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and today's topic is Introduction to Use of Construction Material in Civil Engineering. Building materials have an important role in the modern age of technology. In the field of civil engineering, construction materials plays a vital role in quality, strength, durability and aesthetics of the structure. With the advancement in technology, new materials are invented and incorporated to a greater extent in the field of construction. For any civil engineering structures, we primarily require construction materials like stones, timber, bricks, cement, steel, tiles, pipe, bitumen, glass, etc. So, as we know, without construction materials, construction is not possible. Though we have plan, we need construction materials itself to execute that plan or to make any kind of structure. Let's say if dam or bridge, we need to have materials itself first. They play a vital role in let we need to study about quality of that material, strength of that material, durability, aesthetics, for for better quality of structure, for better quality of structure that we build. So we need to study about that. Then the new materials are also invented. They, as we know, that new materials are invented nowadays. Yes, so different materials are also used for different types of work. So we need to study that too. So in our branch of civil engineering, we have to look after construction, environment, geotechnical, material, structural, transportation, urban planning, water resource. So, scope of construction material in civil engineering. The scope of construction material includes new works and also repair and maintenance of different civil engineering structures such as bridge, dams, highways, high-rise buildings, sewers, etc. So, in in civil engineering, we have to make new structures, new buildings, but also we need to look after repair and maintenance of those structures. So even in repair and maintenance, we need materials, right, to repair or let's say to maintain any structure. If got crack in building, then we need material to repair that, right, or else we cannot repair that cracks. Yes, so you know construction material, how much they are important. Let's say scope of construction material in building construction. Building construction includes creation, modification, renovation, destruction of building and structures. According to researchers, 50 to 65% of total cost of construction goes into construction material itself. Civil engineers are also involved in testing of construction materials that is being made or being used. So here we know that 50 to 65% of total cost of construction of a building is of construction material itself, right? So from this you can know how much important construction material is. So let's say for creation, for modification, for renovation and destruction also we need construction materials. And uh, if we know that before using bricks or let's say before using cement, we do test on materials, on the materials that we use. So before use it need to be tested, so we are also involved in testing of construction materials. As a civil engineer, we have to look after that too, so that we get a right quality of structure. Scope of construction materials in transportation engineering. So here we can see scope of construction material is in transportation engineering too. So what is transportation engineering? Let's have a look first. It is branch of civil engineering that deals with study of present transportation systems and their improvement for safe, economical and efficient convenience of goods, human beings and animals. Transportation is the key component of nation's development and progress. Civil engineers design, construct, and maintain all types of transportation facilities, including airports, highways, railways, tracks, bridges, tunnels, etc. So, in transportation engineering, so as we know, transportation is the key component. If there is no transportation, if we cannot move from one place to another, or let's say we cannot transfer goods from one place to another, then any country won't be progressing, right? So transportation is very important. So in this transportation we have different ways, let's say airways, railways, roadways. So for making these things, airways need airport, then highway roads, they are also constructed by a civil engineer. So for their construction also, construction material is needed. Scope of construction material in environmental engineering, or you can say environment engineering. So what is environment engineering? It is a branch of civil engineering that deals with study of protecting the environment by reducing waste and pollution, by treatment and disposal for safety of birds, animals and human life. So environment engineering, as you know, it is one of the branch of civil engineering that deals with reducing the waste, pollutions by treatment or by disposal for the safety of environment, that is safety of birds, animals and human life. Environment engineers design, plan and implement measures to prevent, control or remediate environmental hazards. They design, construct and maintain water treatment plants, pipe mains to carry water from treatment plants to service reservoirs, sewers, etc. In water treatment plants, filtration beds are also made of graded materials like sand, pebbles, and coarse aggregates, etc. Cement is used for construction of concrete sewer pipes. So from this you can know, even in environment engineering, for environment safety civil engineers do work, right? If we need pure water in water treatment plants also, construction materials are used, sand, pebbles, coarse aggregates, they are construction materials too. Then for making sewers, for making uh, pipe mains to carry water from treatment plants to service reservoir, we need to have construction materials, right, to make all that construction. Yes, so as you know, now the construction material are also important in environment engineering. Now, scope of construction material in irrigation engineering. So, irrigation engineering, let's see what is irrigation engineering. It is a branch of civil engineering that deals with storage of water and supplying water to different places for various purposes like crop cultivation or for drinking and other domestic and industrial purpose. Okay, so as you know, irrigation engineering deals with storing of water and supplying it from one place to another for different purposes. As you saw in this definition, for crop cultivation, drinking, domestic and industrial uses, stones, earth, clay, steel, timber and concrete, etc. are also used in construction of dams, canals, barrages, drainage works, etc. So yes, construction material are important in irrigation engineering too. Selection of construction material for different civil engineering structures. Selection of construction material is a complex and delicate job. The use of Durable, attractive, environmentally responsible building material is a key element of any high performance building. So, it is very necessary to, to select proper construction material, and it is very delicate job to do that, as we know that different construction materials have different properties, have different uses, so we need to know which material will be used at what place, and we need to have a look on its strength, durability, if it is harmful for environment or no. If it is harmful for environment, we should avoid, we should find a different material that we can replace it with. So we should look after this. There are some criteria for selection of construction material. On it is selected on basis of strength, durability, eco-friendly, and on basis of economy and elegance. Let's see, criteria for selection of construction material on basis of strength. Materials must be selected for the ability to support the load imposed by the building over the whole life of the building. A correct selection of material can reduce excess use of waste and increase the building's adaptability for its uses. Materials must be used according to its functional requirements. So, yes, I said different materials have different properties. Let's say, even if we are using cement, so when it comes to strength, we mostly use concrete, right, to make any structure. Let's say for making a residential building, we need concrete or bricks or aggregates. So if bricks, we need to look after how much is strength of that brick, is it having good strength or no. If cement, there are different grades in cement too, so we need to choose which cement grade should we use for what work. uh, and there are different types of cement too, so we need to know which cement should be used where. So for all these things, we need to study about them. Criteria for selection of construction material on the basis of durability. A highly durable material may provide the most sustainable solution if it reduces maintenance and replacement requirements. But a material should also be appropriate to expected life of the building. They can cause structural failure if not selected according to load coming on it. Defects such as cracks may lead to failure of structures. The material should be properly tested in laboratory or site before using it in construction process. So, as I said before, any type of construction material, before using it, it should be tested in laboratory, and before using them on site also we need to test them once. So as I said, the materials should be properly tested before we use them. There are different types of tests that should be done on construction material on site too, before using the construction material in the process of construction. And even then, materials should be tested in laboratory if possible, so that there is no destruction after construction work. And materials that we use, we need to look after its durability, how much durability it have, can it go through weather changes, and different things we need to look after. So durability of construction material should also be very good. It should have high durability, so that it have high life too. The structure that we construct will have good life. Then criteria for selection of construction material on the basis of eco-friendly. So some construction materials They emit chemicals that can be very harmful for the building occupants and for the surroundings as well. Environmental preferable building materials have reduced adverse effect on human health and the environment when compared with rival products for the same application. Paint used on steel to avoid rusting contains toxic volatile organic compounds which degrades the air quality. Hence, low VOC, that is volatile organic compounds, or no VOC paints and primers should be used. So, as we know, different construction materials can have different chemicals which they emit. So, we should avoid them because it is very important for occupants of building, the people that live in building, and even for surrounding. When let's say if harmful chemicals, the construction material, if they emit harmful chemical and we use them, so even after destruction of uh, of that structure, even the surrounding will have adverse effect of that chemicals. And even when the structure is being made, so the people who make also may have the adverse effect of it. So we should avoid this kind of construction materials and we should replace it if we can. Criteria for selection of construction material on basis of economy and elegance. So the construction material should also be economical to us, and even elegance, that is appearance of the building, should be good too. The source of material must be considered to keep transport cost and resultant emissions to a minimum. So as we know that construction materials should be economical, right? Then we should uh, consider transportation cost in it. Then emission should be minimum. Let's say if we are bringing we are transporting sand from one place to another, then it may some of the sand may fall from the truck sometime. The heavier and more bulky materials must be sourced locally. So the heavier and more bulky material should be sourced locally. Why? Because the more heavy material, the more will be the cost of transportation too. So we should take care that the heavy material, if heavy or bulky material we need, so we need to source it locally. Not we should not go very far for that material. If it is locally available, then just we need to buy it locally. Cost consideration must include initial cost of purchase, maintenance and replacement, demolition and disposal. So cost of purchase, maintenance and replacement, demolition and disposal should also be considered while we buy any kind of construction material. And last is that a building should look good in appearance, right? So if building is ugly, if a structure is ugly to look, then yes, the impression of the structure is not good on people. Classification of materials. Now here the materials are again classified into natural, artificial, finishing, recycled and spatial materials, like that. So natural materials are stone, timber, bitumen, lime, soil, rock, sand, and artificial are bricks, tiles, cement, precast concrete, glass, plastic, etc. The in finishing can be lime mortar, cement mortar, plasters of Paris, paint, distemper, varnish, cladding material. So all this can also come under artificial materials. Okay. Then next is recycled materials. Rice husk, bagasse, coir fiber, straw, etc. Fly ash, coconut leaves, blast furnace slag, they all come under recycled materials because these materials can be recycled, right? So yes, let's say in fly ash is now used in cement too. Yes, fly ash can be used in cement. Then yes, different work they can be used in. Then spatial materials. These spatial material are used for spatial works. Let's say waterproofing material, termite proofing materials, damp proofing materials, thermal insulating materials, etc. So they are used for spatial work, spatial purpose. That's why they are called as spatial materials.